So we had this beautiful sunroom just built, 330 square feet. And we bought the Behr Granite grip interior exterior concrete coating, which gives you that kind of sandy, gritty feel. I have another 5-gallon can of it as well. But anyway, so the reason why I'm making this video is because in this section over here, this is the original patio that was on the house. And then from this point on was an added patio that is a stamped patio. So it has some pretty significant flaws in it that is designed to make it look more like a rock and not so flat and smooth like a normal patio would be. So when I started to use the roller, I would go ahead and I'd cut the edges and then of course the expansion joints and everything. And when I started to use the roller, it just wasn't that evenly. I know they're supposed to put a thin layer on first, but it wasn't really doing that well as far as spreading out that grit. And I found that the roller was picking up mostly the liquid side of the paint, and the gritty part was dropping out and into the pan. I'm using a adhesive and epoxy 1/4-inch nap, which is recommended. In fact, they make it very clear on the cover, must apply with 1/4-inch adhesive roller cover, which I'm using. But because this roller is very, it's got a very short nap on it, and it's not like your normal rollers, like for example, where's that other one at? Like this one you would use for a normal, paint. It really does a crappy job, I think, at least on a smoother surface. I know I have a second coat to put on here, but it didn't distribute, I don't think, the grit that well. See if you can see this area right here has a significant amount of the sand, whereas this area does not. And once the concrete gets wet, the grit doesn't kind of adhere to that wet portion of it. Once the grit hits a dry concrete, it adheres really quickly. It kind of grabs onto that 150 grit sandpaper feel they expect you to have before you start. And so once it grabs a hold of that, you're not moving it around anymore. So what have I decided to do? I went ahead and I rolled all of that, and not real pleased with the distribution of the sand. I think it will look blotchy when I'm done, and I'm afraid it might look blotchy. So I decided to do it the old-fashioned way. I'm using a 3-inch polyester brush, and I am brushing it on first coat, and it is looking really nice. It's very even. I can get down inside those crevices and stuff that this stamped patio has, where I know that 1/4-inch nap, kind of a stiff nap in fact, wouldn't even get there. It wouldn't even fill in those spots. I'd get a lot of buildup, and it just would look like crap. So I only got one shot at this really. So I went ahead and I'm going to paint this, and I know it's a lot to paint, but I think in the end it's worth the effort. And I'm in Northern California here. It is only about 8:30 in the morning, and I'm about almost 80 degrees in the shade here. It'll get to be about 100 and something degrees today. But there's no real humidity or anything, so it should dry really nicely first coat. And I don't know how to mend 2 videos together, so I'm going to make this a part 1, and then a part 2 I'll show you my finished product on how it turned out. But real quickly, it's a very thick. When you open this up, don't expect it to be like paint. It's a thick process. Here, I'll even give you a couple of swipes on how I'm doing this very easily. I'm just going in all different which ways to get down inside those crevices that you have in a stamped patio. And I think the finished product will be very nice because it's already looking nice on first coat. See what first coat looked like when I rolled it. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you like what you see. Everybody's got a different way of doing their things. I know they recommend one way. I know I could have sprayed it on with a 1/4 inch nib or whatever you call it on a sprayer. I didn't want to go and get a sprayer. I don't mind doing the work. 60 years old, if you're still moving, you're good. Don't be lazy. Do it right first time. All right, thanks for watching.